Have you ever found yourself making a purchase? Maybe something as simple as choosing coffee, or perhaps, a bigger decision like a new smart appliance for your home.
hmm Happens all the time.
You probably think it's just about what you need or want. But what if I told you that from the moment you even consider that purchase, there's this whole world of like invisible forces already at play,
Yeah. Subtly shaping your choices.
long before you ever click add to cart?
Exactly.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on those unseen architectures of marketing.
Yeah, let's get into it.
This deep dive is all about understanding you, the customer. We're going to explore how businesses, from uh, startups to global giants, genuinely try to understand your needs.
And the vast environment around them.
Right. And how they use that incredible knowledge to strategize. Our mission is really to give you a shortcut to being truly well informed about this fascinating, sometimes surprising world that influences our daily lives.
It really does influence so much.
So, whether you're making a big buying decision, thinking about launching your own business, or maybe you're just immensely curious about what makes the market tick,
Understanding these concepts is, well, absolutely essential.
let's unpack this because marketing isn't just about selling, right? It's fundamentally about a deep, often scientific understanding of people.
It absolutely is. And what's truly fascinating here is how intertwined an organization's success is with its environment
Yep.
and its precise comprehension of the consumer. It's not merely about the product on the shelf, but how a company engages with and responds to the entire world around it.
So, to really dig in, we have to grasp that no business operates in a vacuum. Is that fair?
Completely fair. Organizations aren't self contained islands, they're like living systems in constant interaction with both their internal workings and a complex external environment.
And these interactions influence every single marketing decision.
Every single one. Think of it like a human body. You have all your internal systems, your organs, your blood flow all working together. For a business, those internal systems are its departments. Marketing, finance, HR, R&D.
All the pieces inside.
Exactly. These
Right.
are the factors largely within the company's control. It's about ensuring their internal health is in order.
Right. So that's the internal health check. But then there's everything happening outside the company's doors.
Uh-huh.
Those external factors often beyond their immediate control.
Right.
You mentioned layers.
Yeah, we can think of these in two main layers. The microenvironment, which is close and specific,
Like the immediate neighborhood.
sort of,
Yep.
and the macro environment, which is much broader, the bigger picture.
Got it. So micro first.
Micro first. This includes the immediate players. For instance, suppliers are crucial.
Right.
If you're building, say, a specialized drone, you rely on companies for those high-tech sensors or custom battery packs.
Makes sense.
Now, if those suppliers consolidate or face issues, their power over you increases. It directly impacts your costs and what you can offer.
Okay. So suppliers are one piece. What else is in that micro environment?
Then we have market intermediaries, your retailers, distributors, wholesalers, the folks who actually get your product into the hands of customers.
The middlemen, so to speak.
Kind of, yeah. Their efficiency and reputation are basically an extension of your own.
That's a good point. And of course, your customers themselves.
Absolutely central.
Mm.
Understanding who they are, where they are, what makes them tick, that's paramount.
Then there are competitors. You have to know what they're doing.
You have to. Knowing what they're offering and maybe more importantly, what they're not offering.
Helps you find that unique space in the market, that gap.
Precisely. And finally, don't forget the general public.
How the community sees you.
Yeah, how your company is perceived by the broader community, its reputation. That's an invaluable asset. Takes years to build.
And moments to lose.
Exactly. So that's the micro level. Beyond that immediate circle, we have the broader macro environment.
The big picture forces.
Right. And marketers often use the PESTLE framework to get a handle on this: political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental factors.
Hessel. Okay. Let's quickly hit on a couple of these because they can really shift the ground under a company, can't they?
Oh, absolutely. Take political factors, government policies, taxes, trade restrictions.
Yeah, we've seen big examples like companies such as Tesla and Oracle famously moving headquarters from California to Texas.
Right. They cited significantly lower taxes and fewer regulations. That's a direct response to political and legal differences.
Influencing massive business decisions.
Huge decisions. And then social factors. These are truly powerful.
Like demographics, cultural trends.
Exactly. Population shifts, changing values. These are like the tides of human society. If we connect this to the bigger picture, ignoring a shift like, say, the increasing consumer demand for sustainable products.
That's a big one right now.
It is. Ignoring that is like sailing without a map. Understanding these factors provides crucial context for why customers behave the way they do and how your product will be received.
So it's like a company has to constantly monitor its internal health, check its pulse, while also navigating the global weather, the traffic patterns, and even the evolving social gatherings happening outside its doors.
Precisely. And this leads us directly to the who, because all this external noise, all these factors
ultimately impacts you, the person making a purchase.
Exactly. Marketers spend an incredible amount of time and resources trying to understand your buying behavior, that entire process of how individuals make purchasing decisions.
They're trying to figure us out.
They're desperately trying to peer into that famous buyer's black box.
The buyer's black box? I love that term. It sounds so mysterious.
Well, it kind of is. Marketers can see the stimuli, like, a catchy ad or a competitive price.
The inputs.
Right. And they can observe your responses, whether you buy, which brand you choose, when you buy.
The outputs.
Exactly. But that actual internal decision-making process, what goes on in your head between the input and the output?
That's the black box.
That's the black box. And it's incredibly complex.
So what's in there? What are they trying to understand?
It is. What's inside that black box is a whole constellation of factors influencing your buying behavior. Let's consider cultural factors first.
Okay. Culture.
Your broad culture, the shared values, perceptions, behaviors learned from family and other institutions, plays a huge role.
Like how different places view things differently.
Definitely. Think about something as seemingly universal as coffee. The cultural meaning of coffee, how and when it's consumed, varies dramatically across the globe.
That's true. And within cultures, you mentioned subcultures.
Yes. These are groups within a larger culture that share value systems based on common life experiences and situations.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about many Hispanic consumers in the U.S., for instance. Research often shows a high value placed on strong family ties and community interactions. So companies that adapt their messaging, perhaps using Spanish in their ads or featuring family themes, aren't just translating, they're often seen as showing respect.
And that influences purchasing decisions.
Significantly. It's about recognizing those nuances.
Absolutely. Then there are social factors. What falls under that?
This includes your reference groups, your family, friends, clubs, online communities you belong to.
The people whose opinions matter to you.
Right. If all your friends are raving about a new tech gadget or wearing a certain brand of shoes,
Peer pressure, basically.
it can be, or just social influence. And we can't forget opinion leaders.
Influencers.
Individuals who, because of skill, knowledge, personality, or other characteristics, exert social influence on others. Think of a major social media influencer.
Right, someone like Kylie Jenner.
Exactly. With millions of followers, they can profoundly affect purchasing trends simply by endorsing a product.
That's a crucial point. Then we move to personal factors. This seems more individual.
It is. Your age and life cycle stage play a big role. A college student's buying habits are vastly different from, say, a new parent's.
Makes sense. Needs change.
But here's where it gets interesting. Age and life stage can sometimes be poor predictors.
How so?
Well, you might have a 40-year-old starting a family, while another 40-year-old is an empty nester or single again.
Ah, right. Same age. Totally different needs.
Totally different needs. Your occupation and economic situation also directly influence your purchasing power, obviously. Your disposable income matters.
Yeah. And lifestyle, personality. Those fit here too.
They do. And we delve even deeper with psychological factors.
Okay, this is where it gets really internal.
Very internal. Motivation is key. Marketers often look at frameworks like Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Physiological, safety, social, esteem, self-actualization.
Right. They try to appeal to different levels of human needs, from basic survival with food products, maybe, to self-actualization with luxury travel or education.
And then there's perception. That sounds important.
Hugely important. It's how you select, organize, and interpret information to create a meaningful picture of the world.
How you see things.
Exactly. And it's selective. Think about selective attention. We're bombarded by estimates range from 6,000 to 10,000 ads every single day.
Wow, that many.
That many. But you probably only notice a tiny fraction.
Yeah, you tune most of it out.
Your brain filters out what isn't immediately relevant to you. It's a necessary screen.
It's like when my partner can always spot the remote control, but I can stare right at it for 5 minutes and not see it.
Exactly. Your brain just filters it out as not what I'm actively looking for right now.
Okay, selective attention. What else?
Then there's selective distortion, our tendency to interpret information in a way that supports what we already believe.
Confirmation bias.
Very similar concept, yes. And selective retention, we're more likely to remember good points made about a brand we favor and forget good points about competing brands.
It's like our brains are building a psychological fortress to protect our existing views.
In a way, yes. And critically, your learning, beliefs, and attitudes are all intertwined here. These are mostly learned.
Through experience.
Through experience, observation, or even marketing messages. And the key for marketers is that beliefs and attitudes can be changed. It's not easy, but it's possible.
Wow. Okay, so with all these complex influences swirling around inside the black box, how do we actually make a purchase? Is there a process?
Marketers generally outline a 5-stage consumer purchasing decision process.
5 stages. Okay, what's stage 1?
It kicks off with need recognition. This is the trigger. You realize a difference between your actual state and your desired state.
Like realizing your laptop is slowing down and you need an upgrade. Or just running out of milk?
Exactly. Could be internal stimuli like hunger or external like seeing an ad for a vacation.
Okay, need recognized. What's next?
Stage 2 is information search. You start looking for ways to solve the problem.
So checking memory first, like what laptop did I like last time?
That's internal search. Or you do an external search, hitting of Google, reading reviews, asking friends, visiting stores.
Gathering data.
Right. Then you move to stage 3, evaluation of alternatives.
Comparing the options.
Comparing different brands, features, prices based on the information you gathered. This is where you might use mental shortcuts or heuristics.
Heuristics, like rules of thumb.
Exactly, based on your personal criteria. Maybe brand reputation is most important, or price, or specific features. Just like you probably did when picking a college or a new car. You didn't analyze every single possible factor for every option, right?
Definitely not. I narrowed it down based on what mattered most to me.
That's using heuristics. So after evaluating, you make the purchase decision. Stage 4.
You choose the product or service. Add to cart, finally.
You select the preferred brand or option, but the process isn't over.
What's stage 5?
Stage 5 is post-purchase evaluation. After you buy, you evaluate whether you're satisfied or dissatisfied.
The moment of truth. Did I make the right choice?
Precisely. This is where you either feel satisfaction or sometimes you get that pang of cognitive dissonance.
Buyer's remorse.
Buyer's remorse, especially after a big purchase. You might feel some tension or discomfort about the drawbacks of the chosen brand or the benefits of the brands you didn't choose.
And then you start looking for reassurance, right? Like reading positive reviews after you bought it.
Exactly. You seek information that reinforces your decision to reduce that dissonance.
Okay, wow. That 5-stage process makes a lot of sense. And here's where it gets really interesting for me. It's not just about what a company sells, but how they try to tap into these deep-seated human motivators.
All those cultural, social, personal, psychological factors.
Yeah, it's like they're playing chess with your brain, trying to understand every move you might make based on who you are and what influences you.
Well, maybe not chess against your brain, but certainly trying to understand its patterns. And this leads to a crucial question for businesses. How can marketers effectively navigate all these complex internal factors, the external environment, and the buyer's black box?
To truly connect with consumers and create genuine value.
Exactly. The answer, in large part, lies in a strategic focus known as STP.
STP? Segmentation, targeting, and positioning.
That's the one.
Okay, let's break that down. The core principle here sounds like you can't be all things to all people.
That sums it up perfectly. Market segmentation is the process of dividing a broad market. Think of the entire potential market for, say, shoes, into smaller, distinct groups of consumers who have common needs or characteristics and who are expected to respond similarly to a marketing action.
So dividing the pie into manageable slices, what are the benefits of doing that?
The benefits are powerful. First, improved focus. You're not shouting into the void. You're directing your efforts, your budget, your message towards customers most likely to actually buy.
Makes sense. More efficient.
Much more efficient. Second, it drives improved product development. When you understand what specific segments really want or need,
you can tailor your products better. or even design new ones just for them.
Precisely. And third, it builds improved brand loyalty. When products and messages fit specific needs, customers feel understood. They feel the brand gets them.
And they're more likely to stick around.
Exactly. That creates loyal customers, which is incredibly valuable.
So how do marketers actually do this segmentation? What are the methods?
There are several common ways to slice that pie. We can segment broadly by who customers are using demographic segmentation.
Like age, gender, income, education, family size.
Yep. Think about generational cohorts like baby boomers versus Gen Z, very different needs and media habits. Or where they live, that's geographic segmentation. Region, city size, climate.
Okay, demographic and geographic. What else?
Then there's getting into their heads a bit more with psychographic segmentation.
This sounds like the black box stuff again.
It connects directly to it. This focuses on personality traits, values, attitudes, interests, and lifestyles.
Could you give an example?
Sure. Peloton, for example. They aren't just selling exercise bikes. They're appealing to a specific psychographic segment. People who value convenience, maybe are competitive, want community, like tech, prefer working out at home.
Right, it's a whole lifestyle package for a certain personality type.
Exactly. And critically, there's also behavioral segmentation.
Based on what people actually do.
Yes. This looks at their purchase patterns. Why do people buy? That's benefit segmentation. Are they buying toothpaste for sensitive teeth, for whitening, or just basic cavity prevention?
Different benefits appeal to different segments.
Right. Or how often they use a product usage-based segmentation, heavy users versus light users. Or when they buy occasion segmentation. Think about greeting cards or holiday-specific promotions.
Okay, lots of ways to segment. But does any division work?
Not necessarily. For segmentation to be truly effective, a segment needs to meet certain criteria. Marketers often say it must be measurable, accessible, substantial, differentiable, and actionable.
Masta. Measurable, accessible, substantial, differentiable, actionable. So you need to be able to identify and reach them. They need to be big enough, distinct, and you need to be able to actually serve them.
You got it.
Okay, so once segments are identified, companies move to the T in STP, targeting strategies.
Right. This is deciding which segments you're actually going to go after.
Do they always pick just one?
Not always. There are different approaches. You could go broad with undifferentiated or mass marketing, basically ignoring segment differences and targeting the entire market with one offer.
Like Ford's Model T back in the day. Any color as long as it's black.
Kind of like that, yes. But it's less common now for most products because markets are so diverse.
So what's more common?
More commonly, we see differentiated or segmented marketing. Here, companies identify several attractive target markets and design separate, unique strategies for each one.
Like Nike.
Nike is a perfect example. They have distinct product lines, advertising campaigns, and even store concepts targeting women, young athletes, serious runners, basketball players.
Tailoring the approach for each group.
Exactly. Then you can also have concentrated or niche marketing.
Focusing deeply on just one or a few smaller segments.
Right. Instead of going after a small share of a large market, you go after a large share of one or a few niches. Think of a company that only makes high-end organic baby food.
Got it. And the most precise level.
That would be micro-marketing, sometimes called customized or one-to-one marketing. This involves tailoring products and marketing programs to the needs and wants of specific individuals or very local customer segments.
Like a realtor specializing exclusively in over 55 communities, or maybe waterfront properties.
Perfect examples of that razor-sharp focus.
And I've heard companies use something called buyer personas here.
Yes, personas are incredibly useful tools, especially for differentiated and micro-marketing. They're fictional, generalized representations of your ideal customers within a segment.
Like giving them a name and a story.
Exactly. Best Buy, for instance, famously developed personas like Buzz, the young tech-savvy enthusiast always wanting the latest gadgets, and Jill, the busy suburban mom, maybe the main household shopper, but sometimes intimidated by complex electronic stores.
So these personas help the marketing teams literally visualize and understand who they're trying to reach.
Precisely. It makes the target customer feel more real, guiding product development, messaging, everything.
Okay, segmentation targeting. The last piece is P. Product positioning.
Positioning. This is all about defining and communicating how you want your product to be perceived by your target market relative to your competitors.
How you want customers to think about you compared to the other options.
Exactly. It's about occupying a clear, distinctive, and desirable place in the minds of target consumers.
How do companies do that?
There are a couple of main approaches. You might use head-to-head positioning.
Going directly against a competitor.
Yes, competing directly on similar product attributes in the same target market. Think of Wendy's constantly promoting its fresh, never frozen beef directly against McDonald's.
Okay, direct comparison. What's the alternative?
The alternative is differentiation positioning. Here, you emphasize unique qualities, maybe quality, service, design, innovation, and often seek a less competitive niche market.
Like that pretzel kiosk example from earlier.
Right. If one kiosk highlights its dough is made fresh from scratch daily, using unique ingredients, that's differentiation positioning against competitors who might be using standard processed frozen dough. They're carving out a different space based on quality.
And marketers have tools to visualize this.
They do. They often use perceptual maps. These are visual tools, usually graphs, that show how customers perceive their brand versus competing brands on important buying dimensions like maybe price versus quality or innovation versus tradition.
So they can see where they stand and maybe spot gaps in the market.
Exactly. They help identify opportunities where customer needs aren't being met.
Wow. So segmentation, targeting, positioning. What does this all mean for us, the consumers?
Well, it's about how deeply a company goes or tries to go to understand who you are, what you truly need or desire.
And how they can best fit into your life.
Yeah.
Or sometimes maybe even create a need you didn't realize you had before.
That can happen too, yes. It's about moving from a broad sort of shotgun approach to a very precise, intentional rifle approach in marketing.
Sounds incredibly powerful. Which I guess raises an important question for companies. What ethical considerations must marketers keep in mind when they're diving so deeply into customer data and behavior?
This is a critical point and becoming more critical all the time. With highly targeted digital marketing, especially, companies have access to vast amounts of personal data your interests, your views, your shopping habits, where you go.
It can feel a bit creepy sometimes.
They can, and consumer concerns about data privacy are significant. I saw a KPMG survey recently. It found that 86% of respondents were worried about data privacy, and 78% feared the sheer amount of data being collected.
Those are huge numbers. People are definitely aware and concerned.
They are, and some companies are responding or trying to. We've seen efforts towards more transparency in data use policies.
Like Apple's moves.
Yeah, Apple, for example, has taken steps with features like iCloud Private Relay, designed to obscure user IP addresses and browsing habits from websites and even network providers. It's a response to that consumer demand for greater privacy.
So privacy is one big ethical area. What else?
Well, there are always discussions around targeting vulnerable groups. Are marketers unfairly targeting children or teenagers who might be less discerning?
Good question.
Or even issues around profiling. Remember the controversy around Target's pregnancy prediction algorithm?
Vaguely, yeah. They figured out a teen was pregnant before her father did, based on her shopping.
That was the story, yes. It raised huge ethical questions about using purchase data to infer highly sensitive personal information. Similarly, Facebook got into hot water over its ethnic affinity marketing tools.
Which allowed advertisers to exclude certain racial or ethnic groups from seeing ads, like for housing or jobs.
Exactly. That sparked serious debate about digital redlining and discrimination. It's a constant tightrope walk between effective targeting and potentially harmful or unfair practices. Marketers also need to be careful not to overemphasize claims or engage in deceptive puffery.
It's a fine line. So how should companies approach this?
Increasingly, there's a push towards what's called societal marketing.
Societal marketing.
It's the idea that companies should make good marketing decisions by considering not just consumers' wants and the company's requirements, but also consumers and society's long-run interests.
Looking beyond just the immediate sale or profit.
Precisely. Thinking about sustainability, ethical sourcing, community impact. Think about Thomas Shoes and their original one-for-one concept.
Where for every pair of shoes sold, another pair was donated to a child in need.
Right. That's a powerful example of purpose-driven marketing aligning business goals with a broader societal good. It built tremendous goodwill.
So it's a powerful toolkit, understanding the environment, the consumer, STP.
Yeah.
But with great power comes great responsibility, right?
Absolutely. Knowledge is most valuable when it's understood deeply and applied ethically. The ultimate goal shouldn't just be a sale, but creating enduring value and building trust with the consumer and with society at large.
We've covered a tremendous amount of ground today.
Oh.
From the vast external forces shaping businesses, the pestle factors, the microenvironment.
To the intricate psychology behind your individual purchase decisions, that whole buyer's black box.
Right. And then how marketers use segmentation, targeting, and positioning to create these incredibly focused strategies.
All while needing to navigate some really vital ethical considerations, especially around data and fairness.
It's truly a journey from broad market understanding down to incredibly precise, almost personal engagement.
It really is. And it's a field that's constantly evolving, especially with technology changing so fast.
So here's maybe a challenge or just a thought for you, our listener. The next time you make a purchase, or even just find yourself browsing online, can you try to identify the subtle environmental factors, maybe those personal influences, or the segmentation strategies that might be at play? What does recognizing that tell you about the power of marketing in shaping our choices and perhaps even in shaping, well, you?
That's a fascinating question to ponder.
Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll see you next time.